Welcome to the Dope and Tape show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for having us as well. I love hose monsters. I used them extensively for maybe 3 years.
Oh, great.
But I've never seen this. So this is something, is this new or is this just new to me?
No, it's been on the market for about 7-8 years now. So this is our
Okay.
Inline Pitotless Nozzle. So this is used primarily for standpipe testing, was the reason behind its invention. So it uses our Pitotless Nozzle technology.
Right.
And basically makes this into a flow chamber. So we're taking differential pressures. Now it's going to do a live calculation. So now that when we're doing a standpipe test, we can take our readings at the valve. Now we can hook up as much discharge hose as we need, and we can run it outside and still get accurate flow readings then right at the valve. So you're not gaining or losing pressure based off of gravity. So
this is incredible. And then also it has the readings, so you're not standing there with a pitot tube.
Right, exactly. So yeah, with our monster meter, so it's a digital monogram, so it's going to take the high and low pressures, and it's going to calculate that to your flow rate. So if you're using our 1 3/4 Pitotless nozzle, you put in here that you're using the 1 3/4 nozzle, and it's going to do those live calculations for you. And
I always reduce it to 1 3/4.
Yeah, I mean, it can hit your sweet spots, especially for standpipe testing. You get your 250 and your 500 GPM. It could also be used with our 2-inch Pitotless nozzle or our 1 1/8 as well too, if you need to do a higher flow rate or lower flow rate.
This is awesome. I've never seen this, but I really like it. It keeps you dry, which I'm a big fan of.
Right.
And hey guys, would y'all come over here? Let's talk about the little hose monsters. So I've used this setup for, I want to say, 3 years. I was the fire pump inspector for the company that I was at, and this is how I configured it. So I always added the 1 3/4 reducing, and then I wouldn't do 3, I would do 2. So I had 2 ratchet strapped 2 stack. So 2 stack, and I would have 2 of them separately. And then that way I could do a 1500 and then lower like really fast. I'm either using 3 hose monsters or 4. And then I never used the Bluetooth. Is this the Bluetooth connection?
Yeah, these are our new smart monsters. So depending on how you configure it, right? When I had a crew, we had 2 guys. We would use 2 stacks of 3 on our trucks.
Okay.
So we could do anywhere from a 250 gallon minute pump all the way to a 2,000 gallon minute pump by having 2 stacks of 3 ready to go. You don't have to then take it fully apart. I always left them strapped 3 together, but take our gauges off.
I always did the same thing.
Make sure our gauges are taken care of. But yeah, so this is our new smart monster. So this replaces the analog gauge. So by doing so, we can get live flow rates. It's going to send a Bluetooth signal out to the user, and the user can be able to get live flow rates on their phone. So they can get it set up to however many of your hoses you're using that day. You get them set up. It's going to add up all those lines and total your flow. So if you're testing a 1,000 gallon minute pump now, because it's calculating down to the fraction of a PSI, so it's instead of going from 16 to 17 PSI on our flow chart, we might jump about 20 gallons per minute. This is now doing it down to the decimal, so it's going to calculate 16.1, 16.2. So when you're flowing in, you're going to be like, hey, I'm at 995 gallons, 996.
Wow.
So yeah, you get dead on accurate with pump testing.
And you could probably have 2 guys, so if the pump is on the other side of the wall, you could probably still pick up the Bluetooth, and you could both look at it for the 100 and 150.
Yeah, absolutely. And because now with our range extenders, you get 2 of these set up. So this picks up that Bluetooth signal, converts it to 900 megahertz radio, and now I can walk up to 1,000 feet away line of sight with another one. 1,000 feet, so it works out great if you're out in the open area.
That is wild.
So there are going to be some restrictions, right?
Well,
depending on where you're set up and the customers, you might have some radio interference, so metal walls, other machinery that could interfere with the signals. But for the most part, generally 90% of the pumps that we test out there, you're going to have pretty good, decent signals, and you're going to get those far lays to get those flow rates from now even further away, so you can stay dry.
Oh wow, that's awesome. So I always use these.
Yep. Our monster tester.
And I stayed dry. It was real quick connect. Had 0 issues. I mean, huge pumps, lots of water flow. I've used up to 5 before.
Okay.
And it's been great. I hook it up to a little thing. Now we made it. Yeah.
So with our monster tester, it's basically just our testing manifold.
Absolutely.
You hook it up to replace your analog gauge. Now it's running all that water back to your monster tester.
Exactly what I used.
Yep. So these come in 60-foot lengths, so you can get past your 50-foot length of hose, 10 feet back, and then now you can just use one gauge now to take all of your readings.
Yeah, I use this whole setup. So I had 4 hose monsters, 4 100-foot hoses. I had this connection and then this device as well, and it came in like a Pelican style case, and I was good to go. I could do fire pump tests so fast.
Oh yeah.
And then before this, I had ginormous testing equipment, and it was terrible. And then I was over there with a second change of clothes. My Pitotless 2 getting sprayed in the face
Right.
with my big boots, and this is a game changer.
Yeah, well, because the other thing with our Pitotless nozzles, they can be used like open atmosphere. So you
Yes.
can hook this up directly to the test setter now, flow it like an old style play pipe, but you're still getting those accurate, well-driven numbers, rather than using that handheld Pito that's going to be so inaccurate at times.
Right, and to take this off, if you can see, you pull the pins, you pull these levers out, and you just pull it out. It's that easy. Man, thank you so much for
super quick,
showing.
super
Yeah,
light, and
absolutely.
easy to use.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate
Thank
it,
you
Brian.
so much
Thanks for stopping by.